Hello and welcome to TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel and a global reach, y'all. It's time out, y'all. We're gonna take a little time out and talk about game two. Ow! And also, we're gonna do some preview into game three, which is tomorrow in Madison Square Garden, y'all. Yes, we're gonna be talking Spurs and Knicks right here. And in the green room, y'all, I got my two favorite cats, man. They've been blowing up TAN TV with their analysts of the games that's 1 and 2 that's been going on for these finals, and they're back today to give us a little talk about game two and what in some previews of what may happen and what they see this series going to for game three starting tomorrow. Y'all. So representing the New York Knicks, y'all. He's sitting on top. He still got the seat. He's still sitting on the throne. Let's show some love for my main man, Marcel Bush Anderson. What's up, Marcel?
What's up?
Yeah, man, we giving you ups, man. It's a 2-0. So I'm gonna bring in my other side because we always got to sandwich you in because y'all riding so high though. But I'm gonna bring in my classmate, y'all. That's representing the Spurs, the author, Mr. Ron Long. Let me bring in Ron. Come on in. Come on in, Ron. I'm bringing in. Pow! There you are.
Oh,
So we got the crew here, y'all. We got Marcel Bush Anderson in the middle and Ron Long right there on we anchoring. We got our anchors. And I'm your host, Vance Bradford. Time out, TAN TV, the African American Network. So fellas, man, I know we had a little quick pre-production show meeting in the green room, and I was going to jump into game three, but Marcel said, "Hey, hold up, hold up. We ain't gonna talk about game two." So Marcel, man, let's start with game two. See your take. What narrative do you have for game two? Uh,
Game two, my narrative starts with us up 97 to 83. We were killing San Antonio. And then San Antonio went on the 14-point unanswered run. And we were tied at 97. And I'm like yelling at the TV. My wife is saying, they can't hear you. My throat's getting sore. And I can't believe that we didn't score in that run. And then we're tied 104 to 104. And the most beautiful thing happened. Wemby got a rebound, start running up the court, and he made this beautiful pass to the back of Castle. And my boy Brunson got the ball, and Wemby fouled him out of bounds. And I'm like, it's over. Brunson goes and shoots, and he's an 87% free throw shooter. And he hits the first one. I'm like, game over. And he misses the second one. And I'm like, no. And y'all advance the ball to halfway with 7.3 seconds left. And Fox gets the ball. Now, if I was a coach, the smart thing would have been to shoot the ball and send the other 4 San Antonio players to the basket to get the rebound if Fox missed. They would have had about 2 seconds left and shot the ball. But no, they waited. Wemby shot the ball. He missed. Woo! Then Castle got the ball. But when he shot, the light on the backboard was on. So game over. Talk about sweating. Talk about worry. Talk about my heart rate going through the roof. But it was a tight win, a closely battled game. Both teams were on it. But we came out on top by 1 point. And a win is a win is a win. I will take it.
Wow. See, Ron, did you see how he took his time and stretched that great? That was great. great narrative.
Yes, it
Thank you.
was. Mm, mm,
Of the Knicks side, and Marcel, we wouldn't think nothing different. So, Ron, with that, hearing that, and
mhm.
what do you say? Uh, what kind of narrative did you bring out of this game too?
Well, mine kind of coincides some with what Mr. Bush had to say. Bush, you're not the only one that yells at the TV with about 4 seconds left. I'm yelling at Fox, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. But he didn't hear me, even though I lived 10 miles away. He did not hear me, or he ignored me and passed it off to Wimby. And the rest is history, as you spoke about. So I shout at my television too. uh, you know, the first game when we lost to New York, um, I looked at that and said, we had a lot of tired looking players. We psychologically weren't there. But, after the second game, I think back about the old saying, somebody's going to win. And when somebody wins, somebody has to lose. And that was a great basketball game. We went forward, we stepped backward. Knicks went forward, they stepped back. It was a back and forth game almost the entire game. And with a couple minutes left in the last quarter, I thought we were gone. I thought we were out of it, but we bounced back. Great basketball game. That's how a championship game should be played. And unfortunately, we come out, the underdogs. Close game. Uh, we made some mistakes, but also the Knicks made some, and we capitalized on those. When they made mistakes, we made mistakes. You all capitalized on ours too. Uh, Still had a few things with the. We can't blame it on the refs, but there was a few calls that I didn't care much for, and there were more non-calls that I didn't care much for. Um, and I know between I think it was Wimby and Mr. Robinson. Robinson got the technical, and Wimby didn't. And I heard, I actually read today where they were going to reverse that. The NBA was. So I don't know how that goes about. But I guess a long story short, it was just one of those games. We had two great teams out there. We can sit and pick them all apart, but we weren't on the floor. But we're in the driver's seat, passenger seat, armchair quarterbacking, and saw some things that we should have done better. And the last couple minutes, the last minute, the last 35 seconds of that ball game, there were two things that we should have done better. And whenever Wimby threw it to Castle, Castle's back. I don't know if it was supposed to be to where Castle had the ball coming to him planned or it didn't, but that was a massive failure. And I think with Wimby being a young, immature, uh, not the way he acts, just in the whole realm of things, he's 22 years old. He's not quite matured yet uh, in the NBA. 2 years there, and also in his life. So I think that rattles him. Like I've said before, I do a lot of people watching, and Wimby, of course, is one that I watch a lot, along with the rest of the entire world. And I think that things like that get to him. And I think that if it would have been a little bit different to where maybe this is just a scenario, if he passed it to Castle, Castle passed it back, he could have taken it down there then and taken a shot. But I think whenever he passed it to Castle, the Castle's back, that shook him up, that mentally shook him up. And so I wish that Fox would have taken the shot instead of Wimby, because I think Fox was mentally and position wise in a good spot to take that shot. And I wish that part would have been a little bit different. Everybody makes mistakes. The Wimby's pass to Castle in the back, mistake. Okay. But whenever it rattled him and when he went down to take that easy shot and he missed it, I think Mr. Fox should have been the one taking that shot. But long story short, if you're going to blame anybody, I'm going to take some of the blame because I have failed to wear my lucky shirt. The last two games, my wife and I went out and got the new shirt, the NBA, semifinal championship team. And I wore it the first two games, but that's over. Bush, that's over. So I've got the real deal on. So we're coming back with the Thunder. So anyway, that's my brief synopsis of the game. And I will take a little responsibility. But like I said, great ball game. That's how these things should roll. And unfortunately, one team has to lose. And unfortunately, it was the Spurs.
Thank
Can I
God.
say one more thing?
Go
Just
ahead.
remember this, though. There's a century-old saying out there, okay, that it. This is in hillbilly talk, but we're from Southern Missouri. Vance and we can speak hillbilly. It ain't over till the Spurs coyote sings. Okay.
I guess he came up with that one. Okay, Ron.
Maybe it
Number
wasn't a
one,
centuries old thing. So,
number one,
mm,
a coyote can't sing. They howl. And they are howling right now.
mm,
Number two,
mm.
Cat has played in 3 consecutive conference championships. The first one, he was with the Timberwolves. He lost 1-4. Last year, in 2025, he was with the Knicks. He lost 3-4. He is hungry. He is tasting this. He knows that this is the time. And I would not be surprised if he wins after this is over MVP. But he's hungry and he's going to take y'all down. I promise you. He is not going to let this opportunity go. He is not going to lose 3 conference championships in a row.
Nice. So with that, because you just brought that out, Bush. So do you think is it your pick that what I want to say? Karl Anthony Towns is probably the most impactful player these first 2 games.
Right now, because with him playing defense on Wemby, Wemby is 2 of 12 in shooting. 2 of 12. Towns rattles him. Towns has his heart. Towns has him by the throat. Them Timberlands are on his neck, and he's feeling that pressure.
Okay. So you are saying Towns is probably the most impactful player in these 2 games for the Knicks.
Yes.
Not
And
big
another
body.
thing, from I believe with 6 minutes left in the third quarter and 3 minutes left and 3 minutes of the beginning of the fourth quarter, Towns was not in the game. And that's when the Knicks extended their lead until Wemby came back in and Towns came back in. And thank goodness he didn't get his 5th and 6th foul. And that's when the Spurs made their 14-point run on us.
Nice. So Ron, let me ask you this question. And you might have answered this in your such open statement there, but what do you think the Spurs have learned in these past 2 games that may take a immediate impact for tomorrow's game?
I think what the Spurs have learned is they can't take anything for granted, uh, because this has been a learning process for them playing the Knicks. Going back and looking in Oklahoma, it seemed like the Thunder ran the same things, did the same things repetitively. But I think Wemby's still kind of trying to figure out the Knicks, you know what plays they run, where they're coming from. The big man goes out, and to take his place is Mr. Robinson, and he's another big man, and he also puts the pressure on Wemby. And Wemby uh, is, like I said, I think he's just trying to figure all this out. And he's a centrifuge of our team. We have a lot of good players, but it all kind of revolves around him. And so when Wemby's on, we're on. When he's not on, sometimes we're not. We can win without him, and we've seen that throughout the year. But Wemby is learning. You can tell, like the first game, he got frustrated. And you see him over there on the sidelines, and he looks all beat up and frustrated and tired. I like to use that analogy at times. But last night wasn't the case. Man, they zoomed in on him when he's on the bench. Big Cornette's in there taking his place, doing a good job. But Wemby was there. He was having a prayer meeting on the mount with those people on the sideline. He wasn't mad, but he was very energetic, and he's getting all over. He wasn't beat up like he was last time. So he motivated them, and Wemby can motivate the team. Unlike, well, a lot of those players can, but Wemby, like I said, is a centrifuge of all of that. And so we saw a different Wemby last time. So Bush, he's figuring this thing out. He's had to figure out. We have great athletes on all these other sports, but with Wemby, he's a baby in the sport. He's 22 years old, been in the NBA 2 years. Heck, our entire team really are babies in the sport. We average a little over 4 years NBA on our starting five. So we're learning. But Wemby's, I think, got your all's number. And we barely missed this last game. I think you're going to see even a more enthusiastic person out there, our team out there this time. But he's figuring you guys out. He's figuring out what to do with his teammates. And also, he has another factor thrown in there. He's trying to figure out some of these referees, what he can do, what he can't do. People are physical against him. And sometimes when he's physical back, he gets a big foul call or it's overlooked. So he's trying to figure out these refs to see what he can and can't do. So a lot of figuring out going on, but I think he's at the point that in this team that this third game is going to be an entire different ball game. Still going to be a great game, just like last game was a great game. But this will be a different game, and I really think that we're going to come up top on this one.
And
okay, I'm gonna have to say something here.
Go ahead, Bush.
Hold up. Championship game are not time to figure out anything. That's players play, coaches coach. Not time to figure out anything. And I'm gonna throw out something else also. Since 2023, there have been a stat that started out, and it's called clutch points. And Jason Tatum, Celtics, has 65 clutch points since 2023. Nikola Jokic has 69 clutch points since 2023. SGA, back-to-back MVP, has 84 clutch points since 2023. Jalen Brunson has 140 clutch points since 2023. So the difference between him and SGA, that is 60 points. And Brunson has not been shooting well. But in this playoffs, he has 55 clutch points so far, just in 2026. And I believe that Brunson's going to come alive tomorrow. And it's going to be ugly for San Antonio, because now they figure out how to stop him. Because once he's on, there's nothing that anybody can do. And yes, he only scored 20 points in the last game, but I think he's about to bump it up.
Well. Bush, yeah, that kind of brings me to something, man. It seems like you must have been in my meeting room looking on my war board over here. But so you mentioned clutch, yeah, that's just amazing how you brought up the clutch. But I want to ask you though, so do you think the Knicks have proven that they're the better team, or simply, since you just brought out the clutch situation, that they're better in the clutch than
their bench players have been clutch for the Knicks. So even when Brunson and Cat have not shot great, the bench has their back. Bridges, and I forgot his number. The guy that hits the threes all the time. He has been clutch.
Yeah.
Shamet has been clutch. And those two individuals have been clutch. And even the point guard that comes off the bench at times, he has been clutch. So I believe that everybody's got their marching orders on what to do tomorrow. And I believe the Knicks don't want to come back to Texas. They're looking for the possibility of sweeping the Spurs. And with a win tomorrow, If the Spurs are down 0-3, nobody has ever come back from an 0-3 deficit.
Okay. Stop right there. Stop right there, Bush. So I'm just getting a little clarification before I slide it over there to Ron there. So are you saying then that simply they're more clutch right now? They're a more clutch team. They haven't proven that they're the better team. That seems like the clutch is what you're really leaning on. So I just want to say that. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Just trying to get a clarification there, right? They're more clutch right now.
At this point, yes.
Okay.
Because that's
that's fine. That's fine. But I mean, that's fine, Bush. That's fine. That just leads me to say Ron. So I feel that the Spurs is a one possession away from having this 2-1. So one possession away. So clutch situation. So that Ron, that leads to tell me that there's still room for this comeback that Bush said might not be happening. So my question to you, Ron, are the Spurs losing because of inexperience, execution, or talent?
Well, I'm going to rule out the talent because we are 8-10 players deep in talent. After the game the other night, they were interviewing Mr. Towns, and they asked him what is a major factor in this game in the series so far. And he thought about it for a second, and then it was a very adamant, comment with a quotation mark around it and an explanation mark. Experience. And that's something we can't get over or get past at this time. We are going to in the future because I think this team's going to stick together and we're going to be dynamite. But right now we have to get over that experience factor because the Knicks they have twice as much tenure in the NBA as what our team does. We have a lot of young players. But what that tells them, though, what that should tell our Spurs players, you got to play a little harder, you got to play a little smarter, and you have got to make a few more buckets. You have to have a few more rebounds. You have to sink your teeth in and grab and shake. Play hard. So the lack of experience can be made up in talent, which we do have, in hustle and execution. The coaches, and Bush, I can't disagree with you. Some of the comments you made about coaching. Our coach is also young when it comes down to head coaching in the NBA. Is he making some mistakes? Well, sure, but I make some mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. And overall, I think he's doing a good job. But he's going to have to tighten up a little bit too, So I think he kind of beat himself up a little bit after the game regarding Mr. Harper after game one. But, he's learning too. And I think this is such a young, inexperienced team that they're all having to learn. And you guys, the Knicks, are making us learn in super hyper drive right now, because it's real, it's there. And we just have got to play harder. We've got to play longer. We've got to hustle, make more buckets. You look at the stats for both teams. Well, last game, when it comes down to field shots, when it comes down to free throws, everything's pretty much neck to neck. They're pretty much even Steven. But the experience is where the big separation are, and we have got to overcome that with other elements of the ball game.
Nice. One thing, Knicks shot 42%, and the Spurs shot 47%. So right. They shot better than us, but where we beat the Spurs was hustle, rebounds, going for the ball. And that, I believe, put us over the Spurs.
Okay, y'all, we're going to take a quick station break right there, man. This has been fantastic, y'all. Hey, but if you just tuned in, you tuned in to TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel and a global reach. Just time out, y'all. We taking time out to talk about game. We talked about game 2, and now we're talking about game 3, which is tomorrow night in Madison Square Garden. We got my main 2 cats here. Marcel Bush Anderson and Ron Long, y'all. So just stay tuned. Go get your quick glass of milk and quick glass of milk, a quick drink, and refresh, and we'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned. Okay. And don't forget, y'all, TAAN TV's Father's Day digital billboard campaign. And if you need more information, just make sure you send an email to info@tan.tv. Info@tan.tv. So we'll be right back with Ron, Bush, Vance, talking Spurs, y'all. All right, fellas, we back, man. We back. Well, first great half. First half, we found out that there's still hope for us there, Ron. Even though we owe two, Marcel let us said it's they're clutch right now. Like I said, I think we're just one possession away, and from making this a 2-1. So now, just say, Marcel, y'all go up 3-0. Just say, with that, would it be a done deal? You think it'd be a wrap?
Done deal. It's a wrap. Game over. Game 4 would just be to close everything up and get the trophy from the NBA. But we are, both teams got 2 days of rest, and they're going to play tomorrow. New York Stadium is going to be so hyped. The whole city is going to be so hyped. The whole state is going to be so hyped. In fact, the whole region is going to be so hyped because we are overdue. This has been 53 years in the making, and we're not going to let it go. We want this championship. We have worked for this championship. In fact, when Atlanta played New York, and New York went up they were tied, and then Atlanta went up 2-1. There was a players only meeting. Before this meeting, New York had trouble with people dealing with chemistry issues. They were dealing with turmoil. They were dealing with players being unhappy. And they had a players meeting. And ever since that meeting, everything has gone away. And the Knicks have been focused. They've been playing like a team. They are one. They're not playing as individuals. They're playing as a team. And they are focused. They're going to take it. And they want this. And not only do they want this, but we want this. Knicks fans want this bad. And I believe our players are going to deliver.
Okay, Ron. You see, Marcel said the Knicks go up 3-0. It's a wrap. They want it bad. And that, to me, like I said, it not just the team, the fans in New York, they want it so bad, man. So with a Spurs victory tomorrow, 2-1, would that change the pressure? You think that would change the pressure? Or what would that do for the series?
Absolutely. Bush, I think after the first game you made mention, we're talking about our city, said, I've seen you guys. That city's crazy. We do go crazy in a great way to support our team. And no matter if we're up or down, we're going to be there. If we're down, if we go 3-0, after tomorrow's game, the city will still be there supporting our team, and our team knows that. So it's a really great mesh between a young basketball team to where we don't have attitudes amongst each other on that team. Man, everybody gets along seemingly very well. Uh, and our city supports them no matter what. So once again, we're going to be a city no matter what happens that's a little bit crazy and a lot on fire. So the city itself will be very supportive. And I know New York can be that way too. You guys have a lot of folks up there. You've had a lot of things happen good in the past. But 20 years ago, things were happening good for San Antonio, and I see the good possibility that this could happen again, and hopefully will happen again. I hope we don't go down 3-0. That's going to really, it's going to put a slow air leak in our balloon, man. I don't want to see that happen. And coming back from that, it's going to be really, really hard to do. But when we win, if or when we win, I'm going to say when, tomorrow evening, and it's 2-1, we're on the warpath. We still see the light and the trophy at the end of that tunnel, and we're going to go after it. Our players are, our city will, our coaches will. Uh, we have Eric Corgi there, and the Nun sister supporting us too. And I'm wearing my lucky shirt, so I'm I'm thinking things are going to really go well tomorrow night. But 2-1, that's not going to be a major obstacle for us. I don't want to see 3-0 though. And go
I
Chiefs.
did I did say in the first episode that we got together that San Antonio is a great team. I also said they have next year to get their stuff together. This year is New York's year. 2026 is all about New York. San Antonio, they can come next year or the year after, but this year, it's not going to happen. We are too focused, we're too fired up, and we're going to take this. If we have to yank it out of your paws, we will, but we're going to take it.
All right. Well, look here, Bush, sit right there. Don't go nowhere. Sit right there. 'Cause I got a question for you. I mean, because I had to switch the screen and give you a little bit more width there because the other screen, your chest was so swole. Y'all, you sitting up there with it wasn't showing. So I had to give you a little bit more, so all that New York can show the show right now. But I mean, Bush, you've been talking, man. It's been rolling, and they're playing well. But let me ask you this: even though they are up 2-0, is there any adjustments still the Knicks need to make for Game 3? Come on.
Yes. One adjustment, make your shots. Period. End of story. These misses, these players have to shoot and elevate their games so that they stop missing their shots. Their defense need to be amped up. Rebounds, they need more than the San Antonio Spurs. And if they make those adjustments, they're going to come out with a victory tomorrow for Game 3.
Sounds good. Sounds good, Bush. Sounds good. Well, uh, Ron, we know that the Spurs need to make some adjustments. Not only that, you can speak on the adjustments, but just this right here too. Speak on this. Do you think the atmosphere at Madison Square Garden is going to put it even more pressure on these young Spurs? Along with, and then tell us if there's any adjustments they need to make, which, but keep it as brief as you can. I know you got a lot of adjustments.
Well, I'm going to speak kind of for myself if I was there.
Go
New
ahead.
York's city is a humongous city, but like I said a few shows ago, when it comes down to the game, it's at the Garden. It's a basketball court. They're in their home away from home. It doesn't matter what city in the world that they're at. Once they come in within the doors, run out that locker room, they're on a basketball court. Now, speaking for myself, if I was a pro ball player playing for the Spurs, got a chance to go into the Garden, I'd be thrilled to death. Man, I'm at the world's most famous basketball court. I'm at the Gardens, man. And that wouldn't, the people around me wouldn't deflate me. It would inflate me. And I would have, even though a lot will be there cheering for your team, still though the enthusiasm, the entire demeanor of the people there, they're having fun, they're yelling, and you guys aren't going to go there and trash out our team. New York's a classy team to play against too. So it's going to be very, I think, enthusiastic and uplifting for the spirits of our players too. It doesn't matter where they're at. It's a basketball court. And just being at the Garden, it's not going to deflate them, man. That's going to inflate them. It's like, wow, we're at the Garden. Let's rock and roll. Show them what we got. We're here.
Nice. Well, y'all, hey, I mean,
wait a minute. I gotta answer that.
I know. Hey, Winston, I apologize. I should know. I should have known. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
The Spurs are going into Madison Square Garden is the Mecca of basketball, and they can be inflated. That's why we have pins. We use pins to deflate people and their egos and their capabilities. And that's what's going to happen when the Knicks face the Spurs tomorrow. The Spurs are going to be deflated, and we're going to come out with another victory. I am so sure of it.
Okay, well, we're going to leave it right there, fellas. We're going to leave it right there. We got you back in the middle there of our Spurs sandwich there, Marcel. And it's going to be a good game. I know that. Hopefully the Spurs, Ron, they got this time to settle, step in, and get that one. They just get that one.
Yep, we need the one.
Change things. Mm-hmm. They can put that pressure back on New York because, like Bush was saying, that they want it so bad, man. They want it. They'll probably do anything to try to get it. So, anything that may deter that, a victory from the Spurs, one, boom, mess around and win the two like Knicks won here in San Antonio. Spurs go up there and win two, man. And I think that pressure would flip. Ooh, Lord, have mercy. So we're going to take one game at a time, huh, Ron?
Sounds good.
We're going to take one game at a time, man. And Bush, I know the Knicks going to show up and try to show out, but we're going to see, man. And like I said, I just, I'm
so nice. So nice. The Knicks are so nice. I had to wear them twice. Marilyn Monroe supports New York basketball. Yes.
And Bush, remember, it's not over till the coyote howls.
Okay. Y'all going to be howling. Y'all going to be howling.
Man.
It's going to be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, this has been great, guys. Another game, hey, pre-game now. And we'll decide after, at the game tomorrow we'll be watching. Stay on the tweet. I mean, and we can get some things going and talking, man. This has been great, y'all. So we're gonna get out of here, y'all. Y'all ready for the game tomorrow? And
yes.
Be safe and enjoy the rest of the evenings. And I appreciate you guys taking a Sunday afternoon to come talk to us, talk Spurs, man. And this is great, man. Like I said, we're getting great feedback. And I want to say, guys, keep making comments. I've been telling Ron and Bush about how you guys are doing on the show. So keep sending in comments, and we're gonna get this bad fella this time out the show. Spurs finals, Knicks finals, game 3 tomorrow in Madison Square Garden. So we out of here, y'all. Peace. Be safe. Boom. Don't forget our Father's Day billboard campaign. Don't forget the billboard campaign, y'all. Boom. Let me do this.
Process. I ain't rushing the plan. God wrote the steps. I'm just walking the lane. They see the glow, but they don't know the stress. I stay 10 toes, now the grind getting blessed. Trust the process. Yeah, I'm moving with faith.